Hi, it's me once again with your math solutions. In this video, we're going to learn how to derive the quadratic formula, and we'll try and solve some quadratic equations using that formula. But before we continue, as usual, like this video, share and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get back to business. So we're going to try to derive the quadratic formula using the completing the squares method. So first of all, we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the first thing we're going to do is to make x squared coefficient, to make the coefficient of x squared 1. And how do we do it? We divide all through by a. So you have x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0. Okay? Remember our completing square method from the previous video. We have here, we have x squared plus b over ax equals c over a minus c over a, because a positive moves to negative. Now, you try to complete this, make it a complete square. You have x squared plus b over ax plus, divide this by 2 and square it. When you divide b over a by 2, you have b over 2a. And when you square it, you have b squared over 4a squared. Okay? And as you've added this here, you have to add it to the other side, equals minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. So no side feels cheated. Now we have to factorize this. Okay, you have x plus b over 2a squared should give us this, and this here will give us, we'll try to add it. We have here 4a, we have the common multiple for, the lowest common multiple for a and 4a squared is 4a squared. Okay, so you have 4a squared divided by a gives us 4a, times this, you have minus 4ac, okay, plus b squared. So now you are trying to find out the square root of both sides to isolate x. So you have x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus square root of minus 4ac plus b squared all over 4a squared. And of course, you know that 4a squared, the square root of 4a squared is 2a. And we're going to try moving this over to the other side as well. So you have your x equals, this is going over to the other side. You have minus b over 2a minus b over 2a plus or minus, now plus or minus square root of, you have this square root of, you can even, let's rearrange it. You have b squared minus 4ac all over, we agree that the square root of 4a squared is 2a. Okay, now we try to, since they have common denominator, let's put them together. So you have here 2a, okay, you have minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. So this is what the value of x will be whenever you have a quadratic equation. So any quadratic equation you have, once you use this formula, you should be able to find your x. And of course, remember, you will have two values because of this plus and minus. Okay? This plus and minus will make us have two values of x because it's a quadratic equation. Look at this. You have 2x squared minus 3x minus 1. So let's try and remember our equation, our quadratic formula. You have your x should be equal to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so now, how to go about it? Just to avoid confusing yourself, okay? First of all, state the terms. You know our a to be what? 2. A is the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of x, which is what? Minus 3. Be careful with your minus signs, okay? And c is a constant, which is what? Minus 1. Please carry the signs before it. Now, we are now going to plug these values into the equation. So you now have our x to be equal to what? Our minus b is, our b is minus 3. So minus b should be minus 3, which should be like something like this, minus 3, plus or minus our b squared. B is minus 3. You have minus 3 squared minus 4 brackets. A is 2, C is minus 1. Okay, it's very important you're careful with your signs. All over 2 brackets 2. Okay, now we have our minus 3 gives us 3 plus or minus 3 squared. Minus 3 squared is 9. Okay, you have minus 4 times 2, 8, times minus 1 gives us plus 8. Sorry, minus 4 times 2 gives us minus 8, times minus 1 gives us 8. So you have 9 plus 8 all over 4, which is equal to 3 plus or minus square root of 17 all over 4. And our square root of 17, we have 3 plus or minus. Our square root of 17 should give us 4.123. 4.123 over 4. So when you solve this, you're going to either get 1.78 or minus 0.28. So you can try plugging this into this equation and see if it is satisfied. So let's try solving this. You have x squared plus 3x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, so you have our a to be 1. Coefficient of x squared is 1. Our b is 3. And our c is minus 5. Okay, so let's plug it in and try to find our x. You have x equals b minus b is minus 3 plus or minus b squared is 3 squared minus 4, a is 1, c is minus 5 all over 2a, 2 times 1, which is 2. So you have minus 3 plus or minus, you have 9 times 4, sorry, 4 times 1, 9, 4 times, minus 4 times 1 gives us minus 4, and minus 4 times minus 5 gives us 20. So you have plus 20 all over 2, which gives us minus 3 plus or minus square root of 29 all over 2. So we have our square root of 29 to be 5.385. So you have minus 3 plus or minus 5.385 385 all over 2. And when you solve this using your calculator, you're expected to have 1.19 or minus 4.19. I hope you learned something new from this video. As usual, try and solve as many questions as possible. If you have any questions, any topics you'd like us to discuss, feel free to use the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.